This is Nintendo Power number 56. You can't tell by it just looks like a silver issue probably on the screen, but maybe on the you can kind of see on the light here who is engraved in the front there. We were talking about Mega Man X earlier in the last issue. This is his issue. This is all for him. You can see him kind of outlined here. And what that is, super great cover. That is basically just a nice fancy cover for this. If you weren't a subscriber, or I think one of the two, subscribers got this one, or newsstands just got this one. I forget which one it was, but one of the issues I don't think came with this bonus cover. Super NES TMNT Tournament Fighters and Mega Man X Fast Action Super Blast. And see, they kind of did this thing where Mega Man's kind of like evolving in the background, which I don't think is true. I think this is a separate Mega Man from this Mega Man. I don't know the whole lore. I don't, but I think he's like, they're kind of like showing him like, okay, remember when you were 10 and you were playing Mega Man? Well, now you're 15 and you're playing Mega Man X. Look how far you've come, kid. You were playing this, and now you're playing this. Look at this. He has a V in his helmet. Look at that. That's not what's being... What happened in the cover? Well, it's just to show... It's just a special subscriber cover with Mega Man engraved on it. It's a bonus issue cover. And then there's the real cover. It's like an Animorphs cover. Animorphs. Never saw it. Was that a cartoon? Rock and X are different. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. X dons armor throughout the game like an RPG. X however upgrades and obtain... Oh, so that's him getting the armor? Is that what it's doing? Okay, I didn't take it as that. I took it as him evolving. X however upgrades and obtains armors. I know that. It's the same character, just... Okay, are you sure? Okay, I guess it is, because he has like the... thingy. Okay, I stand corrected. Get a friend into something besides trouble. Get them into the Nintendo Power Super Club and you'll pick up 4 Super Power Stamps. All they need to do is fill out this form. Game Boy, take it anywhere. Game reviews. You see they kind of changed it up for issue 56 for January 1994. This is the new year. New year, 1994. This is issue 56, January 1994. Game reviews. Flashback, Mega Man X, Claymates, Soldier of Fortune, TMNT 2, TMNT Tournament Fighters, Super Solitaire, Battletoads Double Dragon, Batman the Animated Series, TMNT 3 Radical Rescue, Tetris 2, Disney's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2. You actually see a little bit more on that. Only in Japan. Special feature, number 60. You're positive that's what they're conveying? Convert your friends to your religion. My Nintendo religion. Yeah. Okay, let's kind of move through this one a little faster here. Okay, here we go. This is one of my favorite. I hope this is a good one. Player's Pulse. This is from Susan Van Saint from Tracy, Iowa. I'm a 19-year-old artist who loves Zelda. When I was in the 7th grade, I had potential to be a good artist, but I lacked creativity. Since I had no real interests, I didn't work on my ability. But that changed when I received The Legend of Zelda on my 13th birthday. I was hooked instantly. When I wasn't playing it, I was drawing it. I tried so hard to draw, Link just like the instruction booklet. As I grew older, I expanded and drew new poses and made up my own characters. I now have my own style, and I enclosed my own unique Link in this example. Thank you, Nintendo, for inspiring me throughout those critical years. You've helped me to let my imagination go, and now I draw nearly anything. Who would have thought that a little character like Link could have such an impact? I'm going to college now to major in graphic design. Thanks again. Susan Van Saint, Tracy, Iowa. And there's her picture right there. Pretty good. It is a good style. I like that different style. Andrew Ortega from Panama City, California writes, I enjoyed reading your article on the making of Super Empire Strikes Back. You should have an article on all the steps there are to make a video game. Oh yeah, I remember when they featured artwork. Yeah, people would put these elaborate arts on envelopes and then mail them in. If I drew something, I wouldn't want to just mail it in, mail it away. Look at these things people make. This artist is almost 50? Well, good. I mean, yeah, well, that's okay. People age. I bet you she's talented. She probably made something of herself. Yeah, I hope they're doing well. Yeah, she is almost 50, yeah. I guess time does... I forget that 94 was so long ago. She would be that. Yeah, I hope they're doing well. In your September issue in Player's Pulse, you ask how I liked the Making of Super Empire Strikes Back article. I loved it, and I definitely want to see more. I'm very interested in how video games are made, and your article was very informative. You should print articles like this as often as possible. I can't wait until the next time. I like the fact that the Making of article was based on Super Empire Strikes Back, but that's still not enough to make it an interesting section. I think this article is boring and cheap way to killing space. Why don't you use space to increase coverage for classified information or Counselor's Corner? And they respond to Danny Mew's vicious response from Elmhurst, New York. Thanks for the input, Danny, but like the saying goes, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Yours just happens to be in the minority. Almost every response wanted to see more of this type of article. Wow, Danny, just telling them to sit on it and spin. But they do age better than Brian. That's real. Hey, I'm aging like milk. What? Turbo Zone. Hello, Turbo. Gex is not in here for a while. Turbo, how are you? Danny got ripped. Yeah, they've ripped them. Wow, man. Gex, no Gex, Turbo. No Gex, only Nintendo Power. Opinions are like a-holes. Everybody's got one. Yeah, that's basically what they said, Zardafron. That's basically what... They might as well have just said that. We won't get to Gex until much later. We're on 1994, January, Turbo. You're very Gex. There's no Gex, Turbo. Jonathan Hoff from Hutchinson, Minnesota was selected as a grand prize winner of Players Poll contest in Volume 42, a trip to beautiful Hawaii to watch 1993 Pro Bowl. There's a picture of them, and there's Dad with the Mickey Mouse Magical Quest, the very important game to me, and Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally, another very important game to me. One for each for different reasons on their own. Just in case the action in football game got a little slow, as the Pro Bowl often do, John and Barry had a couple of fresh copies of Nintendo Power on hand. Editor's Corner, Gail Tilden, Editor-in-Chief. The first issue of 1994, and we're going pog wild. All Super Power Club members are receiving a very special set of Mega Man X milk caps, with this, the January 1994 bonus issue. Once you've purchased the 6 milk caps out of the carrier sheet, you can do several things with them. For starters, you can play with them. If you don't know how to play the milk cap game, check out the inside back cover of this very issue to find out. All club members in Hawaii will know what to do with them, because milk caps are all the rage on the islands. Whatever you do, hang on to them, because like trading cards, they're very collectible. This was Twitter back then. Basically, yeah. This is like Twitter. Gex, you're welcome. Pog. Yeah, Pogs. Yeah, there was Mega Man. I mean, I guess Pogs were getting really popular here. Here we go. Mega Man X. Here it is. I'm sure you guys have been waiting for this. Mega Man's Tour de Force mission is upon us. Finally, the 11th game in the Mega Man series marks Capcom's first foray into the Super NES realm. While there are no major surprises, there is more of the same excellent gameplay that all Mega Man games possess. Let's see what X can do. Chill Penguin, Acceleration System. Designed to be used in an emergency situation, the X acceleration system allows him to dash ahead quickly for short distances. X will be equipped with a new set of boots. When he exits the chamber, this power will be invaluable to X. It will allow him to jump distances up to twice as far as he could before. Can you please scan this page and upload it to the server? I need a copy of the... Oh, you want this? Okay, yeah, I can do that. You want this right here? Yeah, I can do that for you. I can do one better. I can give you this whole issue on PDF. How's that? I have this old... I'll do that right after I'm done. Mega Man Gex. Yes. No, not Mega Man X. Oh, you're welcome, Zardafron. If you need any other issues, let me know. Any of you guys, if you need issues, I'll put them on the server for you. Oh, wait. Don't hear that, Nintendo. Because they're going after that guy for... Well, he leaked stuff for Zelda first, so... I don't think they'll come after me for giving away a Nintendo Power issue. Dr. Light's Legacy. X was originally supposed to have the dash by default, but the devs thought it would be nice to make Hick Bonley walk until unlocking for the classic fans to go through the new... new series more swimmingly. Oh, so they thought it'd be nice to make... Okay. I do like that they went with unlocking on this. That's kind of cool. They didn't give you everything right up front. Dr. Kane uncovered Dr. Light's labs many years after the brilliant scientist had departed from this world. Buried under several meters of topsoil in the rubble was X, the most advanced robot the world had ever seen. This robot actually had the ability to think and reason. Using X as a model, Dr. Kane began producing Reploids, a whole new line of robots based on X. Less than a year passed before something went wrong with the Reploids. Uh-oh. I thought Hibonkly was a Pokemon. No longer does not quite making a jump spell instant doom for Mega Man X, equipped with enhanced traction control system, which allows him to stick to walls. He will slide because of the force of gravity, but can be boosted back up. Far superior to Mega Man X's X-Buster, the X-Buster takes power of his trusty arm cannon to new levels. With his variable weapon system, X can now switch between the X-Buster and any other weapons he has acquired by pressing the L and R buttons. Zero the hero. Zero saves X from Sigma when they meet for the first time. At the end of the introduction stage, X hopes that he will be able to join forces with the leader of the Maverick Hunters. Before he can do that, he must improve his weapon systems. This rare bird can really fly. It took take less than a year for this game. Storm Eagle. Flame Mammoth. This is Gaia's favorite song, Storm Eagle. Spark Mandrill. Armored Armadillo. Launch Octopus. Sting Chameleon. Boomer Quanger. X meets up with Sigma. Take the Bull. If anything's disappointing about Mega Man X, the game, it would have to be the final stage. Not because it's not challenging, but because it's not long enough. We want more. In this long vertical shaft before you reach Sigma's dog, make sure you are fully powered up by thrashing green caterpillars. You basically spoil the final boss right here for you. Yeah, there he is right there. There they are. They did spoil it. Yeah, I guess it took less than a year to make. I mean, games took less time back then than they. I mean, you only had a few people on a game. You could make these games in less time. Flashback: The Quest for Identity. This is one of those cinematic platformers. Capcom, you want more? Oh well, we'll give you more. I played Out of This World. I never beat it, but it was an interesting game. Yeah, Flashback was hard. I've never played this. I think this is one of those games where you gotta kind of memorize what to do. Ninja is it's like a cinematic, like out of this world kind of like, okay, you go here, but you got to know what to do or you'll die, and you kind of have to replay it and learn what to do. Almost like Dragon's Lair, but not as like instantaneous in your button presses. It's more of a platformer with that kind of thing, choosing of options, I think. Or I could be thinking, I think Out of this World was like that. Like, Ninja is talking about the in-universe time it took for Reploids. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about how long it took to Mega Man X to make. My mistake. I don't know how long X took. It was in development for, I don't know how long. Claymates. My mistake. Webigale, Jobo, Soldier of Fortune. If you liked, I guess this is like Maximum Carnage or Smash TV. It's a top-down shooter type game. Oh no, it looks different. It actually has levels. Oh. Well, I mean Smash TV has levels, but this looks more like more open-ended. TMNT Tournament Fighter. Tournament Fighters. You never played these? Yeah, I never played Soldier of Fortune or Claymates either. I think Claymates uses the same technology as Clay Fighters with the molds, the clay molds people, but it's more of a platformer. There you have the worst turtle, Raphael. Claymates. Oh, he's just a smarky idiot. A smarky jerk. Super Solitaire on the Game Boy or Game... Oh, is this NES or Game Boy? Super Solitaire, you don't need a full deck of cards. Oh, this is SNES. Look at all. You could play Klondike, which is the one that everybody knows. Free Cell, Golf, Cruel, Pyramid, Stonewall, Poker. Look at these versions. I gotta get this game. Oh my god, super... No, I'd be interested. I like Solitaire a lot. I'd be interested in trying this, because I only know how to play Klondike, but I'd like to try other ones. Yeah, oh my god, Super Solitaire, the best game ever made. F all other games when you have Super Solitaire. I'd try Super Solitaire. Why not? WWF Royal Rumble, you have Macho Man, Mr. Perfect, Yokozuna, Final Fight 2 Gaia. There you go. Same player code, plays your same characters. While the LJN logo appears, press B and Y. Why did that need a 2-page spread? It's a card game. Well, they had to explain about it, and then they had to show your different types of solitaire. You see. Super Star Wars Invincibility Code. Ooh, I almost played this on stream. I really like ActRaiser 2. I really like this game a lot. It's one of the most beautiful games on the system. Sounds great, looks great. Hard, but it's not impossible. You just have to learn the controls. Very fun game. I think it gets a bad rap. Metal Combat for Super Scope. Mighty Final Fight. We played through that. That's a fun game. Super Spy Hunter's fantastic. Hyper Tennis. What's Hyper Tennis? Strange Code allows you to play Hyper Tennis, a game that plays exactly like classic game Pong. Really? Look at that. They put a Pong game in Super Spy Hunter, Sunsoft did. What are those animals? ActRaiser 2 is good, but the first game... Yeah, a lot of people like the first game more. It's more... I mean, it has the Sim stuff in it. Yeah, I like both. Quick End. Sometimes a player can become trapped in the mazes of the original Metroid without any escape. This happens to me a lot when I play Metroid. Last time I played it, it happened. Instead of resetting the game, the code will allow you to access password screen. On controller 1, press start to pause the game. While the game is paused, press up and A on controller 2. Okay. That's useful to know. Rock and Roll Racing. These are passwords. In the celebration of the New Year, 2 bonus pages have been included into this month's classified information. Here's a bundle of passwords to some of the hottest new games around. Plug them in and check them out. Deathheim codes, easy, medium, hard, for ActRaiser 2. Aladdin, there you go. Fire and Ice, the sequel to Solomon's Key. Mega Man 4. Yeah, there was an ActRaiser 2. It's all action. The controls are very tricky to get used to. It looks beautiful. It sounds great. It's not well liked. People like the first one, but they don't really tend to like that one. I enjoy it. Mario vs. Wario. Here we go. It's a party. I'm an invitation too. Let's come celebrate my birthday next Sunday. Be there or be square. Princess Toadstool. Princess Toadstool's birthday bash. What pressful present is enough for her? I know. I remember the perfect gift. Recently, on the way to the park. Oh, look. Look, a Samus doll. It's so cute. Hurry, Princess. We'll meet the boss. We'll miss the boss. Honk, honk. Bye-bye, Samus. That's it. I'll get her that Samus doll. Sold out? What do you mean, sold out? I'm sorry, dude. Some guy? What did he look like? Well, he had a big black mustache like yours. Mario. I won't let him one-up me. Bring Rapidat to look just like his. Sure, okay. That guy also asked... I'm in a hurry here. Jeez, 2 weirdos in one day. The following Sunday... I knew it. The old switcheroo. It's payback time, Mario. Meanwhile, the Toads are busy decorating for the birthday bash. Hey, Mario. What's up? The Toads need your help on decorations. Oh, sure. Mario, can you give me a hand? Mario would love to help. Mario would love to help. I really need your help. He's holding up the Happy Birthday Peach sign. There, that's perfect. Are you done yet? Ding dong. The guests are here, Mario. Would you get the door? All right, I'll get it. Now's my chance. He switches the presents. Happy birthday, Princess. This is for you. Thank you, Wario. Can I open it now? Oh, go right ahead. Sprung ink. Oh no. Whoa, Wario, great gift. Not. I'll get you for this. Princess, here's my gift from my heart. He switched them. That's really my present. It was a trick. Mario set me up. Don't be ridiculous. Stop, you plumber. Stop this at once. I wonder what it is. Sprung. What? What? Where's the... Mario, not you too. Where'd you hide it, Mario? That's my line. You've tricked me for the last time. Smacks him. Youch. Quack. Fess up, where's the dollar? He punches Wario. What? But... You mean you didn't buy the... Stop! You guys are so juvenile. But if you... Then who? You two have spoiled my birthday. There, Princess. Cheer up, look what I have for you. Oh, Luigi, it's exactly what I wanted. Oh, Luigi got her the Samus doll. Thank you. It's the perfect gift. A guy with a mustache. My mustache looks like that? The end. you, you like my voices? Nice. I'm glad you like them. Glad you like them. I enjoyed that. That was good. Why was Wario invited to lead Peach's party? Well, they're friends. Wario Steam. Oh, it didn't find it. Wario Steam. Is Wario attending Peach's birthday party in character? Yes. Kinda. Classiest Wario. Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing. I still have my Mario comic. Wish happens to be a beach episode. Oh, okay. That's the one that was in Nintendo Power, or is this a different comic? Now you take my Wario Steam. Games that never made it to America, only in Japan. Okay, here we go. Many people in Japan are fascinated by the U.S. political system, so much so that one company actually produced a game based on a 1988 presidential campaign. The game helps to sort out how sometimes complicated political systems actually work. It starts with several candidates traveling across the country speaking about the issues and drumming up support. It outlines the various candidates' positions and follows them throughout the primary elections that lead to the national convention. Although based on the real candidates, the names used are slightly different from the real ones. In this game, the candidates George Bush with a P, Pat Roberts, Michael Dukakis instead of Dukakis, and Jesse Jackson instead of Jackson. As happens in a real campaign, the field is narrowed at the national conventions where the two parties vote to see which candidate will represent on the November ballot. The game even includes information about the global climate. With an appearance by Margaret Thatcher, who occasionally constitutes the George Bush on the matter of mutual interest to England and the U.S. Release date 1988. Numbers sold 65,000. System Famicom Company Hecht. U.S. president election is certainly an informative game approach to a complex target to a totally new medium. Even in game form, the process is complicated, though. Players must wade through lots of screen text on the way to the final vote. Interesting. I never knew they had this. It was a standalone comic. I also have okay. Zelda had quite a bit of, novels too. Manga, I think, right? Westaboo video game. I don't know what that means. I've heard about... Oh, you have heard about this game. You've heard about the President game before we talk about it. It's pretty neat, actually. I kind of like it. It's interesting that they, I mean, we got Nobunaga's Ambition, right? So we have, Nobunaga's, sorry. I mean, they were obsessed, interested in our presidential campaign. Why not? Imagine being a Japanese kid and your parents buying you Super American President election film. yeah, that is funny. Like some kid asked for, this is 88? Some kid asked for, Dragon Quest 2 or 3, and they got, U.S. President election. Yeah, Hacked is the same people who made one of my underrated favorites, Moon Crystal. I think you told me about Moon Crystal. Okay, because I never heard of them before. But you did tell me about them when we talked for 5 hours about NES games that one time. The game designer. Judging from the huge quality of mail that we get from aspiring game designers, the game designer workshops would be a big hit around here. It takes a basic 3-stage space shoot 'em up format and lets players call all the shots. They can either opt to play the standard game or comes in a game pack design of their own games. Players use grids just as professionals do to design their own spaceships, enemies, weapons, backgrounds, and maps. They can make objects varying in size from 16 by 16, 32 by 32, or 48 by 48. So you design your own shooter. Mystery novel. This unusual game is a graphic novel that lets the player actually determine the path the plot takes in places. Slower than most American games, this story is told in on-screen text accompanied by graphic sounds that not only set the mood of the mystery, it tells the story. Barcode Battler. I think we had those, but they weren't for the Game Boy, though. This is actually for the Game Boy. Legend of the Fire Emblem. Legend of the Fire Emblem is a game that combines Elements of strategy and role-playing in a fantasy setting. Dragons and knights populate the Fire Emblem world. As it's true in tradition role-playing games, you activate pull-down menus to perform many actions possible in-game. For example, you must approach people and characters to use the talk command to speak to them. What's different, though, from our average RPG is that instead of having a single party that moves with you, you have units that you can control in order to gain territory. Your command to move, and after you give your commands, you see them take up their positions by marching into place. You can move them from area to area, strategically placing your units in blocks of enemies, moving to gain control in a region. Most other action is in side-scrolling one-on-one fighting sequences. Although it's not a blockbuster title, it's very popular among Japanese players who have cut their teeth on computer games. It has an interesting storyline with emphasis on strategy. 1991, 120,000 copies sold for Famicom by Nintendo. I think Intelligent Systems did it. Maybe Nintendo published it. I'm not sure. Oh, it's called Dazmon. I played a PS1 game of it. Dazmon. Oh, for Barcode Battler? Yeah, Fire Emblem. Legend of the Fire Emblem. There it is. The first one. Didn't that get a re-release? Nintendo put it on Switch or something? The game that would never exist in the West. The game that would never become popular. Yeah. Until now, it's really popular. Dazmon is the shoot. Oh, this one. Okay. I never even heard of that. So it went on to the PS1 as well? That's it. So it's a long-running series. Okay. Pachinko. Mine Sinker. Mother. Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Mother is a typical RPG in that it has a lot of pop-up menus for talking to people, reading signs, equipping weapons, and battling enemies. What's usual about it is that it has a roster of offbeat, friendly-looking enemies such as a 53 Buick, a goofy teenager, a smoking crow, some big stars in a video game industry worked on the game. Shigeru Itoi, a famous writer, came up with the story, and Shinbo Minamani, a well-known illustrator, created characters who are young, lively, and very curious. Developers designed the game with young RPG players in mind, and there are lots of those in Japan. The RPG category dominates the Japanese market. To give just one example, the Dragon Warrior Final Fantasy series are so popular that incredible lines form outside stores that are due to receive shipments of the latest installments. RPGs aren't as popular here, although Dragon Warrior sold well in the US, its sales here didn't compare to its sales in Japan, so plans to release Mother here under the name Earthbound were put on hold. Super Mother, the eagerly anticipated sequel, is coming soon to the Super Famicom in Japan. Only time will tell whether we'll ever see a version of Mother here in the States. Release date May 1989. Numbers sold 150,000 System Famicom Company Nintendo. Although it doesn't boast the huge sales of RPGs such as Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy series did, Mother has been very popular in Japan nevertheless. It's pretty cool, but it's very complex to make stuff. It's funny, a lot of these series are still going on today, probably, you know? I never even heard of that Dazmon series. If I remember right, New Demon Island has a song in Smash Brothers. Well, it must be popular then. Shigehasu Itoi. That's not even right. Well, you got it. I knew. I should have said Itoi. Yes, Earthbound Begins. Yes, Earthbound Beginnings. Ultra Quiz Across America. Television shows that let audience take part in embarrassing situations are extremely popular in Japan. One of the best is Ultra Quiz, an annual U.S. game show that starts in Tokyo Dome. Ultra Quiz Across America follows the same route across the U.S. that the show actually used. It starts on the West Coast and works its way to Statue of Liberty in New York. The television show is hit, and so is the game, selling more than 100,000 packs. New Demon Island. Oh, that's the one Guy is talking about. Oh, okay. That's not... Okay. I thought you meant that was Days Bond, but no, this is a different game. New Demon Island is just one of the many Japanese folk tales that are told on Famicom Disk Systems. The series are told as a modern text adventures with the player using commands such as search, use, read, talk, pick up. But the stories themselves are traditional tales. With familiar characters, they appeal to players from immediate school age on up to intermediate school age up to adults who like retelling the old legends of their children to their children. Another appeal was that they were disc games. Disc-based games were once very popular because players could take their used disc back to the store when they tired of the story and for around $5 have the new one saved over it. Many stores used to have the writing systems that installed the new games, but they aren't as widely used as they once were because the discs hold only 1 mega of information and aren't compatible of saving the newer, more complex games on the market. Gaia Knight, it is in Brawl, yes. It just goes by Shin Onigashima. It's a medley of a few of the songs. Yes, that Shin Onigashima song is BA-AF. I never even heard of that. Bizarre how the original Mother was going to be released here under the same title as its feature sequel. Yeah. It's a strange name. And then there's Mother 3, in which we will never got Reggie. He probably had something to do with it. Dragon Ball Z 2. The artist who created the characters for Dragon Warrior drew the ones for Dragon Ball Z games. Dragon Ball Z 2 is a tournament simulation, while Dragon Ball Z 3 for the Super Famicom is head-to-head street fighting action. Dragon Warrior 5. The 5th game in a hugely popular series hasn't made its way to North America yet, but it's been out for almost a year in Japan. Although the setting is similar to those of the previous games in the series, this one looks different because it's the first one made for the 16-bit systems. Even though Dragon Warrior games have been around for years, their popularity is still growing. Final Fantasy 2, 3, and 5. Dragon Ball Z games being mentioned here. That clearly says Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z 2. Although the first US Final Fantasy title came from Nintendo, they all have been developed by Squaresoft. The games Square published here as Final Fantasy II was Japan's Final Fantasy IV. But games known as Final Fantasy II and 3 in Japan have never been released here. Final Fantasy V, a 16-bit title, is selling even better than the ultra-hot Dragon Warrior 5 in Japan. It will be available here as Final Fantasy III late in '94. No, it will not. In hindsight, looking back, it does not. Here we go. Super Nintendo Entertainment System Power Index for members only. Basically, it's a list of the Super Nintendo games, who published them, their release date, the players. You could play 2-player, 1-player, 2-player, whatever. Password, how they save password or battery backup. For example, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, published by Capcom November 91, 1-player only. Such like that. Edutainment, Family, Fighting, RPG, Arcana. I always wanted to play Arcana. Draken, I'd like to give a shot. Mystic Quest is great. Final Fantasy II is good. Great. Might Magic 3, I never understood what to do in that game. That clearly says Dragon Ball Z. Please reread what I said. That clearly says Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Balls. Oh, they didn't space it out. I gotcha. Yeah. It just says Dragon Balls. They didn't put the space between the L and the Z. Okay, I'm going to try this. This is the last time in my life I'm going to try this stupid magic guy. I never got these to work. I'm going to... If I do it here and it doesn't work, I'm never going to try it again. Well, never is strong. I'm not going to try it for another 10 years or 5 years or a year. No. It's not working. I'm done. You played Arcana. It's not bad. Music slaps though. Okay, I'd like to try it. It's what do you call it? HAL, right? Yeah, we should have gotten. They said it was coming out later the year, but they did not. It's Final Fantasy 3, but they just didn't put it out. I don't know why. What are we supposed to be doing with the magic eye thing? So you're supposed to stare straight into it and relax your eyes at the center and focus on one point, and an image is supposed to pop out. I don't know if that works out with... So here's what... It's weird. I could never get them to work. They were big back in the 90s. I never got them to work. In fact, music was composed by one of the Kirby guys, really. Well, it has to be good. Yeah, the music in that... I saw bits of it, and I kind of want to play it, because I like dungeon crawlers, and I heard it's a very player-friendly one. The top... Here we go. Members Special. The top games of 1993. Scope out the top 10 Super NES titles as well as the top 5 Game Boy and NES game packs of 1993. Sounds of Success. The best tunes on the NES Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Many games take advantage of the excellent audio capabilities that the Super NES offers. Check out these overachievers. Stereogram Special. Can you see the picture within the pictures? Not everyone can do it. Give them a try. 1994 preview. Get a jump on the coming year. See what we think will be hot in 94. I'm going to guess it's Jun Ishikawa. Is that who did the music, Gaia? Yeah, it's not hard game. Oh, Jun is the man? Okay. Here we go. You nailed it, Mr. Dafron. The top titles of 1993. Here's a little collage of what you got here. Last year saw the release of a slew of top-notch Super Nintendo titles, which made it harder than ever to pare the list of the 1993's best games down to only 10. Star Fox started the year with the screaming blast of the streaking Arrowwing when it debuted to rave reviews at the Winter CES in Las Vegas last January. And to no one's surprise, games in the Street Fighting genre carried over from 1992 and continued to be the big news for the Super NES. Street Fighter II Turbo and Mortal Kombat stood out from the huge crowd of Street Fighter wannabes, while many of the imitations paled in comparison. The original Clay Fighter made our list of honorable mentions for its innovative approach to the tried and true formula. Link grabbed the hotly contested top spot on the Game Boy list, while there were fewer NES games released than in the previous years. Perennial popular Mega Man and Battletoads showed up in totally new action titles that claimed spots on the NES Top 5. We listed all the games released in 1993, took a close look at the ratings they earned from Nintendo's pros evaluators, then sat down to debate the top games' merits. We considered technological advancements and innovation as well as playability, diversity, and depth. When the dust settled, we came out of the Star Fox conference room with a definitive list of 1993's best games. All of the titles that made the cut come highly recommended by Nintendo Power. He did the Alcest soundtrack, too. Alcest. I don't know why I wrote, well, what I meant was nice. Oh. You meant, instead of 2, you meant nice. By the way, did you hear that the new Indiana Jones film will be the last time John Williams will... Oh, really? A movie score. Oh. He had a good career. Retired from movie scores, but will still do concerts. Oh, okay. Oh, he has to make money somehow. So, here we go. Number 1, Star Fox. There was no argument about which game was number 1 this year. Star Fox blew away the competition for 1993's top spot by pairing advanced technology and a challenging game experience in an all-new outer space adventure. For sheer excitement and innovation, it earned top honors from critics everywhere. Star Fox is the first in a new generation of video games to contain the Super FX chip, which utilizes reduced instruction set computing technology to create amazingly fast and detailed animation. The custom chip is capable of making lightning-quick calculations to scale and rotate polygons and sprites, which results in smooth 3D animation. The net effect is a new sense of realism that rises a head and shoulders above anything we've seen previously for home video game systems. The FX chip isn't the only star in the show, though. It shares the bill with Fox McCloud and his lively crew of interstellar mercenary pirates hired to save Corneria from the supremely evil Emperor Andros. Congratulations, Fox. Your mission has been a resounding success. Mario All-Stars should not count as it's just a mini. Well, I don't think this was the very first one, right? Super Mario All-Stars number 2. Nintendo went from creating something completely new in the Star Fox to updating its all-time most popular NES games, Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3 for play on the Super NES. We put all 3 on a single pack, along with the lost levels, which were previously unreleased in the US. What a value. There's no doubt this unprecedented powerhouse package has to rate among the year's best. Street Fighter II Turbo. Capcom followed up last year's number 1 game with its another Street Brawler that featured faster movement and awesome new special combination moves that made it a standout among this year's throng of pretenders. To the Street Fighter throne, for the first time, all the speed characters, moves, and options of the arcade version made it home only to the Super NES. What was the first remaster? I think it was compilation, maybe, with Super Mario All-Stars. Remaster, it might be Super Mario All-Stars, maybe. Super Empire Strikes Back. Super Empire Strikes Back duplicates Star Wars' 4th place showing last year's top 10 list, but we think it's even better. With more stunning special effects, more variety in stages, and even more challenge than ever, this innovative sequel takes Luke, Han Solo, and Chewbacca back to the battle against the dark side once again, in a game that mirrors the plot of the hit movie. Magical Quest number 6. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to pick out. Mickey graced our January issue clad in firefighter suits of 3 suits that give him special powers. The suits are only part of what makes the game magical. Superior graphics and sound, as well as a varied terrain and solid play control add up to make to a game that's certainly one of 1993's best. The Lost Vikings. Interplay broke into the top 10 with The Lost Vikings, an intriguing, innovative title that turned the action puzzle category upside down. This graphics and sound are first rate, and the text is downright hilarious. What really makes this game so great is that it's deep and compelling story. Batman Returns. Batman Rides On Flies. This was the best value I ever got as a video game. I got this at a used game store for $1. Batman Rides on Flies, again, in Konami's Super NES action game that checks in at number 8 on the top 10 list. Digitized music from the original movie score accompanies the fast-paced action that pits the Dark Knight against Catwoman, the Penguin, among others, in this street fighting game with a twist. Lost Vikings is okay. Kind of odd to see it here. It's a fun game if you like that type of game. It's challenging, that's for sure. Secret of Mana. It's no secret that Squaresoft's Secret of Mana is a great game. It made Kaduse, hello. Kaduse with a K, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Oh wow, it's been a while since the last... It has. It's been about a year, Kaduse. This is issue number 56, January 1994. Mega Man X is on the cover. And now we're going over the best games of 1993. We are talking about Secret of Mana. Hope you're doing well. Batman Returns is very fun, but it's hard as F. Yeah, it does get very challenging. I think I only beat it on either normal or easy. I forget which one. It does get tough. Never knew how to use the test tubes in that game. It's no secret that Squaresoft's Secret of Mana is a great game. It made November's cover. It has stunning graphics, entertainment screen, text, and great depth of play. One of the game's many improved features is that up to 3 can play at once, each controlling one of the 3 main characters. If Madman was here, he'd say move this up to number 1. Tiny Toon Adventures Buster Bust Loose. Konami scores another top 10 title with Buster Bust Loose, a series of cinematic escapades that begins at Acme University. Buster is the star, but he meets up with other toons for bonus games and cinema scenes. With great play control and 3 different difficulty settings, it's fun for players of all ability levels. It also had a terrible Ending. Batman Returns? The movie or the game? I don't remember the ending of the game. I was good last stream. I am doing even... Oh, good to hear. Glad you... That's what I want to hear. Good to hear. Honorable Mentions, Aerobiz, Goof Troop, Operation Logic Bomb, I want to play Seven Saga sometime, and Shadowrun. I played through Shadowrun. It was okay. It was kind of confusing. Most Innovative, Alien 3, Clay Fighter, Evo, Search for Eden. There you go, Gaia. Rock and Roll Racing, Tasmania, and Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Now we move on to the Game Boy. Oh, only top 5s? Well, Link's Awakening, number 1. Link's Awakening shot to the head of the top 20 list as soon as it was released, but it was a short trip. Anticipation had the game hovering in second place even before players had got to see how great it was. Many who have played it contend that Link's Game Boy Adventure is even better than his enormously popular Super Nintendo epic. Mega Man 4. The mega popular mini-hero returns to action with Rush, Flip Top, and Beat in this game. Great enough to grab second place on our annual list. Only Link could beat Best Mega Man. Number 3, Dark Winged Duck. The winged terror who flaps in the night, pecks at your nightmares, fights against the evil foul in this translation of his NES adventure. It plays well on Game Boy. Rampart, the NES version of our top 10 list for 1992, and we found 1993's Game Boy version to be just as much fun, especially in the fast-paced 2-player Game Link mode. I could not get into Seven Saga, sadly. I'd like to try it. The music on that game is slapping. I know you pick one of 7 characters and you go on a quest to get some MacGuffins, but I'd like to give it a shot. I hear bad things about it, but there's people who are passionate about it too, and I kind of want to try it my own. Kirby's Pinball Land. Kirby puts a clever twist on traditional pinball, becoming the ball and huffing and puffing around the screen. Power pinball players will likely like the play control. And for the good old NES, the old grandpa here, 1993, Mega Man 6. Mega Man's popularity has only grown since the first US release in late 1987, and so has the number of adventures he's approached in. He has developed a loyal following that eagerly awaits each new release, and it wasn't disappointed in 1993. His 6th NES adventure, in which he uses new special power-ups, might just be his best. Battletoads and Double Dragons in the ultimate team. What a concept. 2 of the baddest teams ever to hit the NES stay together in one pack, and you could play as the characters from either team. It was our only NES cover for 1993. Kirby's Adventure. Kirby's simple shape belies the fact that he's capable of performing a variety of stunts. In this adventure, he can acquire the skills of more than 25 enemies. Interesting that Battletoads beat out Kirby. Jurassic Park number 4. Last summer's blockbuster came to the NES in a thriller that put players in the midst of Jurassic experiments gone awry. This title wasn't an endangered species. Yoshi's Cookie. If you caught Dr. Mario fever or were taken by Tetris, you won't want to miss Yoshi's Cookie. It's the fast-paced puzzler with a 2-player version that really cooks. Yeah, Mega Man 6 was kind of the swan song for the NES. I don't think there were many NES games coming out. No, well, this is 93. This is 92. Wait, this is 93, right? Yeah, this is 93. So, like, these are very late NES games. Sounds of success. Not many players buy video games because it has great sound effects and music, but the soundtrack adds excitement and realism to the action. Just like how the soundtrack on movies or TV shows. The process of creating sound for the Super NES games, however, is more complicated than you might think. Computers like the Super NES don't understand music any more than we would understand the language of aliens from deep space. The Super NES needs musical or sound signals to be translated by a program called a sound driver. Only then can the Super NES's brain, the CPU, Central Processing Unit, understand this sound signals and send them to the sound CPU, DSP. digital sound processor, and DA, audio converter, where the signal becomes compatible with televisions for stereo sound systems. In turn, the television or stereo feeds the signals to its speaker system to produce actual sounds we hear. Every game is equipped with a sound driver, which is a program that converts music instructions and data in the game's ROM, read-only memory, into the Super NES data. But as you're about to hear, not all sound drivers are created equal. When a company acquires a Super NES development system from Nintendo, a standard sound driver is part of the package. Some companies use this sound driver when they make games, while other companies develop their own custom sound drivers so that they can make music in new creative ways. Custom sound drivers often include innovative features that were created to make use of sound systems in ways that were not thought of when the original sound driver was developed. This look into the Super NES's sound system and people who are creating essentially sounds for Super NES games concentrates on companies who use custom sound drivers to expand the abilities of the system. Okay, so there's more to that. So here we go. Here is a little you got your SNES CPU, you got your sound CPU, your bus, your processor, your converter that converts that computer language into something for your analog, digital to analog system, signal for your stereo or TV. Your SNES sound side says it has a CPU, sound processor, and 500K of RAM. Let's see what we got here. Is that the Fallens? I think that's the Fallens. Hold on. That is not the Fallens. Bubsy gets his voice. Here we go. Let's read about this. Yeah, it was slowing down. Star Tropics 2 was... Oh, yeah, Star Tropics 2 still has yet to come out. Bubsy in Claw's Encounter of the Fur Kind is the debut of Accolade's wacky bobcat Bubsy, who wisecracks his way through the 16-stage yarn. Bubsy producer John Skeel says that finding the right voice for the character was a real challenge. I knew that the sound of Bubsy's voice would be really communicating his personality, so I wanted it to be perfect. I spent weeks going through stacks of voice talent tapes and just didn't find what I was looking for. After a long, fruitless search, John got a call from Sacramento, local actor Brian Silva. We spent an afternoon trying to different voices, a Brooklyn accent, a Jewish accent, until we settled on and got what sounds right. John digitized Brian's recorded voice and sped it up. Results were a perfect combination of Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, and many other classic cartoons. They provided inspiration for designs of characters. There are 16 Bubsyisms in the game, making for approximately 22 seconds of digital speech. During the game's development, John and his team wanted to create a trademark phrase for the character. Whatever blows your hair back was a leading candidate. Then, as Murphy's Law started taking its toll on the project, team members often quipped, "What could possibly go wrong?" That caught on and became Bubsy's catchphrase. Last Thanksgiving weekend, a Bubsy cartoon pilot aired with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles veteran Rob Paulsen as the voice of the Bobcat. The show could become a regular series. Accolade also is planning a Bubsy sequel. About Bubsy, what could possibly go wrong? We will play through Bubsy one day. We will. So there's people who sang the Clay Fighter song, I guess. Techno group Psychonautics contributed their intense hard driving tunes to Excalibur 2097. The sound team at Probe Software researched sci-fi movie music and sound effects in order to create the right atmosphere for Aliens. Alien 3. Interplay epic Lord of the Rings will have much more orchestrated cinematic feel. A cinematic style was a target for the soundtrack of Acclaim's Aliens. Top 20 soundtracks. What could possibly go wrong? Possibly with PAW. Yes, the canceled Bubsy cartoon. Pilot's License. Top 20 soundtracks. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This epic music and realistic sound effects of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past take it to the top of our list of greatest Super NES soundtracks of all time. Number 2, Rock and Roll Racing. Number 3, Final Fantasy II. Number 4, Clay Fighter. What? Clay Fighter beat ActRaiser? Number 6, Star Fox. Number 7... Okay, so I want you guys to... Okay, every game I'm saying from here on out They put Clay Fighter above it. Okay, just so you know. Number 5, ActRaiser. Number 6, Star Fox. Number 7, Super Mario World. Number 8, Super Star Wars. Number 9, Plock. Number 10, Lost Vikings. Number 11, F-Zero. Number 12, Super Off-Road. Number 13, Super Empire Strikes Back. Number 14, Super Mario Kart. Number 15, ActRaiser 2. Number 16, Alien 3. Number 17, Bubsy and Claws Encounter of the Third Kind. Number 18, Biometal. Number 19, Batman Returns. And number 20, Claymates. Yeah, Plock has a great soundtrack. Realistic, huh? Even back then, people saw Zelda like that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Clay Fighter's music is good, but it's not like... I think they're just moving it up because it had voices of these people. Which was, like, counted for a lot back then, I guess. How did ActRaiser and ActRaiser 2 both get on this? Well, they're both good soundtracks. I mean, remember, this is 93. This is still pretty early in the Super Nintendo's lifespan, so there's lots of bangers to come. Preview 1994 preview. 1994 looks like the best year ever for the video game players. Get ready for excitement of Super Metroid, the realism of Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball, the innovation of Wario Land, and the action of NBA Jam. Samus Aran on the Super NES. Ever since the introduction of the Super NES, players have been calling Nintendo to find out when Super Metroid will come out. Players assumed that any game as good as the original Metroid had to adapt to the Super NES. They were right, and the long wait is about to end. When Super Metroid hit the stores this spring, players will return to the planet Zebes with Samus Aran, a one-woman intergalactic SWAT team, to battle the evil Mother Brain for the last time. Although this will mark the end of the Metroid series, Samus Aran will have a new galactic menace to overcome in future games. In Super Metroid, players will revisit several areas and enemies from the original game, but they will also explore new regions and battle new foes with new moves and weapons. NBA Jam. You like NBA Jam? Gotta head out now. See ya. Take care, everyone. See ya, Zardafron. Thanks for stopping in. Have a good night, my friend. Oh boy, Metroid 3 time. Yep. Many elements that made the original game a classic have been enhanced. The passages of Inner Zebes are so vast that programmers anticipate having to use 24 megabits of memory, making Super Metroid the biggest game ever for the Super NES. Some elements were borrowed from Metroid 2 for the Game Boy, like the save points and the battery save memory. Kraid and Ridley returned from the original in hideous new forms, along with an army of new redesigned enemies. Mr. Sakamoto, the project director, told NetPower that Metroid has a lot of possibilities, and we have to include all of them to make the game as enjoyable as possible. 10 programmers and designers at Nintendo's EA R&D 1 group have been working overtime for months, trying to include these possibilities. The game is being tailor-made for North American players because Metroid was never as popular in Japan due to the fact that it was released on the Famicom disc player format. As for the popularity of Super Metroid in the US, the incredible action and vast world are sure to make it one of the top games of the year. Designers at Nintendo R&D 1 first created a new enemy on paper specifying the type of attack and appearance, then programmers recreated the enemy in the game itself. So there's a picture of that weird little blob that shoots out little pests. There it is right there. That's it. That's neat. I never saw that. Wait, the last Metro game? What were they planning or talking about? I think they just thought it would be the last one. Sakamoto probably thought that would wrap up the series. Maybe. I don't know. NBA Jam, Ken Griffey Jr., sports games. We can pass those. Wario Land. Here we go. Wario isn't bad. He's just mad in his new action-adventure game. The bad boy of Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, will soon return on a small screen in his own adventure called Wario Land. Not only is Mario completely out of the picture in this game, all enemies and areas are completely new. The game world, which includes an overworld map and lots of areas to pass through, will remind players of Super Mario Land 2, but the enemies and challenge they find in Wario Land are all new. R&D 1, the same Nintendo development group that is working on Super Metroid and which developed the Super Mario Land games for the Game Boy, wanted a fresh look and new moves would appeal to Mario fans. Now, after more than a year in development, they are putting the final pieces in place in order to meet the spring release date. Spring 94. So, what's up, Wario? What's Wario up to this time? Having been kicked out of the castle by his old nemesis, Mario, Wario sets off to earn his fortune the old-fashioned way, by stealing it from pirates. He figures that if he can find enough of the pirates' hidden treasure, he will be able to buy his own castle. Who needs Mario anyway? Wario lands on the pirates' island and must go through each area to find one piece of pirate treasure. Second man was only the co-creator. The other guy died shortly before release. Oh. Battletoads Double Dragon. You got a comic here. Nice little spread. To be continued on Super NES near you. I think I only got to the second level in this game. It's pretty fun. Batman the Animated Series on Game Boy. I'd like to play this sometime. Oh, wait. This looks pretty good. Battle continues. Turtles 3 Radical Rescue. There's the map of it. You can see how much bigger it is. Like an exploration platformer, like Metroid. Donatello... Oh, yeah, he can scale walls. That's the move he can do. Michelangelo can fly with his nunchucks, like float, like spin. Raphael can like go into a small crisis with his little shell. And Leonardo can drill with his drill. They tell you what's in each room of the corresponding map. Tetris 2. Chip 'n Dale 2. Rangers Return. The world loved their cartoon, game players loved their first NES game, and now the Rescue Rangers are back in another great two-player game by Capcom. Characters and action of the first game return on the NES in the second challenging adventure. Shadowrun. 7 Saga. There you go, guys. We were talking about how do I get the whistle? How do I move the boulders in the cave of Malanam? How do I enter the castle of Petrov? Link's Awakening. Dragon Warrior 4. How do I get the enemies in the den of Giga Demon? Oh, this is one where they mirror your movements or something. You gotta get by them. Where do I find the gas canister? That's in that town. I know where that's at. That's a town south. Past the little statue. Powers Players Challenge. Highest scores. Yeah, Shadowrun was cool. It was very confusing. I had to use a guide to finish it because I got lost. Super NES, here we go. Number 1, Mortal Kombat. Number 2, Street Fighter II Turbo. Number 3, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. 4, Super Mario All-Stars. And 5, Street Fighter II The World Warrior. 2 Street Fighter IIs. That's the early 90s for you. 6, Star Fox. 7, Mario Kart. 8, Final Fantasy II. 9, Mega Man X busting in. Game Boy, number 1, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. 2, Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins. 3, Mortal Kombat. 4, Kirby's Dream Land. 5, Metroid Returns. NES, 51 months on the chart. Super Mario Bros. 3, 64 months. Zelda, Legend of Zelda. Kirby's Adventure, 6 months, still at number 3. Tecmo Super Bowl, number 4. Jurassic Park, that game was more popular because of the movie. Number 5. Zelda 2 is hanging in at 20. Mega Man 6, that just came out. That is not on here. Look for these releases soon. PTO got number 20. Oh yeah, it did. Look at that. Never played that. Mega Man X. Great control and fun challenging. The theme remains the same as the Game Boy and NES Mega Man games. Claymates Sengoku. This is the beat 'em up series. Good play control and good power-ups. Fun while it lasts. The challenge level may be too easy regarding a finished game. Players finishing the game in a short time. Lawnmower Man. VR stages are visually impressive and fun to play. The VR stages don't last very long and challenges limited. Super Solitaire. A deck of cards is considerably cheaper. Is your negative. Flashback. Play control takes some time to get used to. The story, animation, and graphics are awesome. Beethoven II. Negatives. Very poor animation and play control. Lack of depth and low challenge. Positive, some of the digital graphics look okay when they're not in motion. Wow! Okay when they're not in motion. They really hated this game. Sengoku is great, but the Neo Geo version is where it's at. Oh, it's on Neo Geo too. It's a Koei game with ships. Very neat. Oh, is it a strategy game? Where you move ships. Okay, that is niche. Like one of their typical Koei strategy games. Jim Power in Lost Dimension 3D. TMNT Tournament Fighters, Captain America and the Avengers. Poor vertical hit detection means the enemy is approaching from above or below you can't be hit. Wow. Asterix. The Adventures of Dr. Franken. Babies, Kids. Last Action Hero. Asterix was also out on the NES. Popeye 2 for the Game Boy. Fun characters, good cinematic graphics and sound, standard platform action with poor hit detection. Batman the Animated Series, excellent gameplay and graphics and play control. Many of the enemies present little or no challenge. So I think I want to try this one. Batman the Animated Series on Game Boy. TMNT 3 Radical Rescue. Great graphics and play control and a fun game. Some very cool moves and password game saves. Not too much different from the previous TMNT Game Boy titles, but still fun. It's not different. What are you talking about? Whole different style of game. Coming, a look in the future. Lawnmower Man is decent. Better than you think it is. Yeah. I never tried it. I think, yeah, you said you did enjoy that a little bit. Star Trek The Next Generation. Super Adventure Island 2. This is a decent game. It's like a exploration platformer like Metroid 2. Not as deep, but still has that Adventure Island charm. Super R-Type 3. Reign of Superman. I wonder if that's Death of Superman. I don't know. Bubsy 2. 5 Goes West. I beat this game. It's okay. The Peacekeepers, there was like Brawl Brothers, Rival Turf, Brawl Brothers, and Peacekeepers. This is the third in that series of beat-em-ups. Zoda's Revenge. Who was talking about Zoda's Revenge? I think you said it came out later. Gaia? Maybe it was Ninja. Mike Jones, the island-hopping hero of Star Tropics, returns to the NES this winter in an all-new action-adventure. The plot of the game is very complex, but basically involves Mike having to travel through time to collect 7 invaluable items. During his journey, Mike will meet historical figures and fictional characters like Cleopatra and Sherlock Holmes. The action in the game will be familiar to fans of the Star Tropics and Legend of Zelda. Mike moves freely within areas with an overhead view and uses weapons to defeat a wide assortment of enemies. Many areas contain puzzles that Mike must solve before he can move on. The game is more linear than Zelda titles, however, in that you don't have one bigger overworld map. In the opinion of Pack Watcher, this is the biggest NES game to appear in more than a few years. Nintendo will follow up Zoda's Revenge with an NES action puzzle game along the lines of Tetris starring Toad and Mario Toad the Mushroom Retainers and Wario. That would be Wario's Woods. Final Goes I remember loving the movie. I never saw the movie. The game was okay. Saturday Night Slam Masters, NBA Jam, Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball, Mario's Time Machine, Super Alfred Chicken. Nothing much different from last year, or last month coming out. You still got Soldiers of Fortune coming out soon. Pink Goes Hollywood, Young Merlin, Wolfenstein 3D Excalibur. Flashback, Lord of the Rings, there you go. Game Boy, Batman the Animated Series, Tetris 2, TMNT 3, Alfred Chicken for NES, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2. That's pretty much the same as last month. Catch the latest Super NES reviews. Next issue coming February, volume 57. Next issue, we have Bugs Bunny's Rabbit Rampage, Inspector Gadget, Lester the Unlikely, Skyblazer, and Choplitzer. Skyblazer there, Gaia. All new sports scene. Hot Game Boy titles, Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge, Bart the Simpsons, Bart and the Beanstalk. Newsflash, Star Tropics, the sequel arrives. Mike Jones, the hero of the tropics, returns to the NES in a bigger and better action adventure. Zoda's Revenge sends him hopping through space and time to collect 7 invaluable items. Adventure game fans had better watch out for this game. And here's your milk caps. Mega Man X milk caps. Only Superpower Club members receive the limited edition Mega Man X milk caps. There are 3 different sets of 6, as collectible milk caps are very much like trading cards. If you haven't started your milk cap collection yet, the Mega Man X set is a great place to start. Superpower catalog, where you could order stuff. These 7 screenshots were taken from the endings of popular Super NES games. What games are they from? If you can see those. And way cool, there's a Super Nintendo and an ice block. And that is the end of Nintendo Power volume number 56 for January 1994, a new year. Some good games are going to be coming out in the later issues.